Hey guys, welcome to another Pattaya chat show here on Buzzin Pattaya. And what a difference it makes to be able to sit here in the sunshine. It's been bucketing down of late, and we seem to have got rid of the monsoon that was passing over us, the storm. And fortunately now, as you've probably seen on the news and you've seen all over social media, the carnage that the water has caused. So anyway, it's a nice day. It's a lovely bright sunny day, as you can see behind me there. So fingers crossed we carry on that way until the wet season comes, which is due very soon. Today's question, I've been asked quite a few times now. I guess really the anticipation is the fact that you may or may not be able to head over here towards Thailand, and the restrictions are possibly going to be lifted. I know there's talk about the 1st of October at the time I'm making this video. That may change, I don't know. But basically I've had quite a few people send in questions about flights, any tips, any advice on long haul flights. So I want to just go through what I used to do when I used to travel, and some of this might be of useful information for you, and some of it might just be old hat. And also I'd ask you guys that are watching this, if you are a regular visitor and you've done the long hauls and you particularly have some tips or advice you can share people, especially those that have never been here, that are coming here for the first time. Guys, you know, please share away, and let's keep our advice and tips flowing, because it really is what makes the channel so good, that we share all of our experiences. All right, so I've got 8 things I want to go through with you. I'm going to break each one down and just really sort of highlight what I used to do and what I think will help your journey over here run as smoothly as possible, and certainly be as comfortable as possible. So number 1, the first thing when it comes to booking your flights, okay, have a good look around. Even if you find an absolute beauty and you think to yourself that's a given, just don't go committing too soon. And also, when you do book your flight, just check the cancellation policy, because you might find that there's a free cancellation in there. So in which case, if you do find a really good flight, nip it in the bud, grab it now, and then you can always go back and cancel it. One of the things you need to do, however you organize your life, be it through an online diary, be it through your phone or whatever, make sure that you do put a reminder in that your cancellation date is due to expire in another 3, 4, 7 days, whatever you need as a trigger. The last thing you want to do is book a flight and then forget the fact that you could cancel it, and then when you do cancel it, they charge you if you pass the free cancellation offer. So have a good look around. I mean, guys, if you're watching this, you know, drop in the comments below where are your go-to sources to find the best flights available, and what kind of prices are you paying from your destination. Maybe put, you know, UK £600 you know, economy, or, you know, UK £1,600 first class, and just put the links, because it will help everybody have a look around and find the hidden gems. And yeah, I guess you might be giving away your seat if you share it with everybody, but you know what I'm saying, you might find one yourself. But anyway, yeah, so book early and check the cancellation. When you're booking your flight, look at what the areas of the plane are in terms of like the front, the middle and the back. Try to book at the back, and I'll tell you why. People say, oh no, I want to be at the front. That is exactly my reason, because people, when they book the front seats, generally speaking, are the ones that get packed out sooner rather than later. Meaning, if you do pick a back seat, the chances are possibly you might find that there's no one sat next to you, giving you that extra seat next to you, that bit more space, bit more room. So of course it does bear dividends if you hold on and try and go to the back. And I'm going to contradict myself in a bit, but you'll see why. But if you do go to the back, there's a better chance that you may not have someone sat next to you. Also, have a look at the leg room, the floor plan. See where you can stretch your legs out. Now, most of the extra leg room comes at a premium cost, because they know that's what you're going to want. But have a look around and see what leg space is there. But generally speaking, when I've flown from England to Thailand, the back area of the plane is the least popular. Yes, you're going to have to stand there in the queue waiting to get off the airplane, but you might have had a much better time than crammed into a seat of 3 or a seat of 4, and you've had very little sleep. So, you know, just think that and bear that in mind. When you book your seat, again, set another reminder and go back and check the seating plan a day before you're due to fly out. You'll be surprised. There may be cancellations, there might be other areas in the plane that have not got any bookings, and you might change your seating plan to suit that space, again looking for that extra bit of comfort. So when you are setting the alarms, remember, set the alarm for when the free cancellation is due to expire, and also set another reminder to check the floor plan. You'll be amazed how many times you go on there and think, wow, hang on, you know, the row behind me has got nobody in it. And you can just move seats without any charges whatsoever. So again, just set another reminder and try and get yourself that extra opportunity to try and find a place where there's no one sitting next to you. Tip number 2, arrive early. Now, some people like to leave it at like last minute, and some people like to go there a lot earlier. I always used to go there early, and I used to go there early for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you get there early, it gives you a great opportunity to ask the staff, are there any upgrades available? And don't be afraid to ask. I've had a few upgrades where I've just been cheeky and said, oh, I don't suppose there's any upgrade, is there? Oh, hang on, let me have a look. Oh, yeah, we actually got a couple here. And a lot of the times, if there is a charge, it'll be a minimal charge. They won't charge you the full whack, so don't be afraid to ask. If you do get there early, don't worry. You know, once you're there, if you checked in, go and sit in the bar or whatever. Don't get leathered, because you know you're not going to get on the plane. But again, you know, just go there and relax and just make the journey as relaxing as possible, because you've got a long haul flight, especially if you're like from places like England. You know, you've got a long journey ahead of you. So get there early and don't be afraid to ask for upgrades. They are there. Sometimes you can get yourself a bit of a steal. I once had a first class flight upgrade and it cost me an extra £500. In my opinion, I thought that was a billy bargain. So I upgraded and it was a fantastic, you know, full on laying back, TV, service, waitress service, everything. It was brilliant. So don't be afraid to ask. Tip number 3, and you're going to think I'm off my rocker here, but try to adjust your jet lag before you even get here. So I appreciate if you're working, you may not be able to do that because obviously the work dictates what times you're available. But if you've got 2 or 3 days off beforehand, why not try and change your sleeping pattern? Why not? Try and change it so that it adjusts to the time zone you're coming out here for, because ultimately when you do get here, there is going to be a significant change, be it 6 or 7 hours. And it is a considerable change. So try to adjust, maybe adjust your watch, maybe change your sleeping patterns if you do have 2 or 3 days in England or wherever you are in the world, just to try and adjust to the Thai time. So when you do get here, it's not a wham bam, thank you ma'am. Incidentally, if you can't, I always used to fly from England at the 9:25 or a 10:15 flight. And I'll tell you the reason why is it forces you to adjust when you get here, in terms of the fact that when you fly, you're flying through the night, so you sleep. Obviously that's UK time because you're sleeping through the night time based on your UK time scale in your mind. When you get here, it's mid-afternoon. Normally it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you're forced to stay awake. So when you do get in your taxi, you get yourself down to your hotel, you check in, don't lay down, don't have a little kip, no matter how tired you are, get yourself out there and just stay out until it gets to about midnight, and then have a really good sleep. And trust me, I found that to work. I don't know how you guys deal with jet lag, and if you've got any tips or any advice, please share that below. But for me, I always used to get the late evening flight away from the UK, get here mid-afternoon and just soldier on through the daytime until the evening, and then I would go and get a decent kip. And I found that worked for me. That was what I found. Tip number 4. Now, you're going to get on the aeroplane, so there's a few things you need to take with you, in my opinion. Get a blow-up pillow. I know it sounds silly and some of you might think, oh, I'm not having one of them, but honestly, it's worth its weight in gold, because you get that blow-up pillow, you sit there, you can go to sleep, job's a good one. Think about what you're going to do for that long-haul flight. Look at your phone. Add as many movies to your phone as you can, because you might not like the in-house or the in-flight entertainment. You can always delete the films afterwards. It's not like they're stuck there forever. So look at your phone and try and upload as much as you physically can onto your phone to give you as many options as possible. Obviously, if you're going to be sitting in a 3 crowd or a 4 crowd on the chairs and they're not your friends, maybe consider what you're going to upload. You know, if you're going to do like Debbie does another tour of Dallas and stuff like that, you might not want your neighbour watching what you're doing. He might be grateful, but you might not be grateful for sharing it. But you know what I'm saying? Upload movies. Likewise, music. You know, if music's your thing, get your phone rammed to the maximum, because once you get off the aeroplane at the other end, when you're here, you can just delete it or free up your memory space. It's not an issue. It's only going to be for the journey of your aeroplane. A phone charger. How many times have you done a journey and realised you've left your phone charger behind, or you haven't got one and your phone dies on you and you've got no way of charging it? You know, it sounds silly, but it happens. Try to remember a phone charger. Earplugs. You know, again, the in-flight, I keep saying in-house, the in-flight earplugs, to be honest with you, most of them won't actually be compatible with your phone. Some are, but most aren't. And likewise, they are really like just tacky, cheap earphones. So invest in a decent set of earphones. You know, you can put them in, especially the ones that hide all the ambience around you. Listen to your music or watch your movie. You're in your own little world. It really does make the flight a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion. Tip number 5, and I'm guilty of this, and I've been caught out a few times, and I'm guessing maybe some of you people have out there that's watching this video. When you get on the airplane, you get yourself all settled down, you get yourself nice and comfortable, you put your seatbelt on, and then you get the blanket out because they put the air conditioning on in the plane. It gets really chilly, and then you cover yourself on the blanket and you go to sleep. Only to then find that during the flight there might be a little bit of turbulence, or maybe a seatbelt sign comes on, and then you're going to get the hello, yeah, oh, I've got my seatbelt on. Put your blanket under the seatbelt and leave the seatbelt on top of your blanket, so that way, there he goes, look. So that way they won't wake you up because they can see that you've got your seatbelt on. It sounds silly, and I'm sure most of you are thinking, what is he going on about? But the fact of the matter is, it really is a good tip because so many people don't do that, myself included. But when you learn, think, right, hang on, put the blanket on, now put the seatbelt over me, you get an undisturbed sleep during any turbulence or any seatbelt lights that come on during your flight. So it is worth doing just for the sheer hell of, like, you know, not being woken up. Tip number 6, dress for your flight, not to impress. And I mean that because so many times, you know, you see people, they're wearing jeans and they're cramped in this space and, oh, my jeans are a bit tight, or, you know, they've got a tight figure t-shirt or whatever. You know, guys, wear baggy stuff. Don't be embarrassed. Remember, it's a long, long flight. And if you've got tight clothing on, the last thing you want to be doing is sitting in an airplane for that kind of length of time, and you're already, like, you know, you're thinking, oh, I want to undo my trousers, I want to undo my shirt, or, you know, don't be afraid to dress how you feel you want to dress. You can always keep some other clothes in your hand luggage if you pack smart, so you can get to the other side here. Then you can nip into the toilet on the airplane, and then you can quickly change yourself into whatever it is you want to change into. But for the flight, I find wearing loose clothing works. It doesn't mean that you've got an uncomfortable flight. You're not fighting with your waistband. I know I fight with mine all the time, but anyway, do you know what I'm saying? So just try to use like comfortable clothing that allows you the opportunity just to relax without any issues whatsoever. Probably don't go down the route of bringing your pajamas, and I hope you don't wear pajamas, but some of you do. But you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, some baggy shorts, a nice loose fitting t-shirt, whatever. And also be prepared for the fact that on some of the flights it does get cold. I've had a few flights, I'm sure you have, where you sit on the airplane and you think, bloody hell, it's freezing. And if you come prepared, as in like you got your flip-flops on, thinking, yeah, I'm just going to get straight off the airplane in my flip-flops and then head down to the beach, the old toes are going to get frozen. So, you know, bring some socks, just prepare, just think to yourself mentally, it's a long haul flight, I don't want to be in tight fitted clothing, I want to be comfortable, I don't want to get cold. You can always take a layer off, you don't have to have it, but if you need a layer to put on and you don't have it, trust me, you're going to get cold. Tip number 7, bring a toiletry bag with you. There's nothing worse than getting off the airplane, you haven't had the opportunity to brush your teeth or wash your face. Maybe you've got a deodorant, you know, put some deodorant on. Just really spend 5 minutes. You know, you're in the airplane, you'll have plenty of opportunity towards the last hour or so of your flight. Go and freshen up. It makes you feel $1 million. Just go and freshen up, brush your teeth, get yourself prepared, wash your face, etc. I think you say, right, I'm nearly here, let's go do this. But don't forget your toiletries, because it really is important. And you know, you do get these freebies in some of the upgrades you get, but in all honesty, they're awful. So just bring whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable, especially like these travel toothbrushes. You know, they bend in half and stuff like that. You know, just bring a decent toothbrush, toothpaste, bring some soap, bring a face wipe if that's what you need. You know, you can always dispose of these things later on if you don't use them on a day-to-day basis. You know, a little packet of wet wipes, I think, you know, whatever they're, £1, whatever. But they do freshen you up, they do make you feel good. Remember, it's a long, long journey that most of you are going to be experiencing. So bring your toiletries and don't be afraid to use them. Tip number 8, adjust your watch. Now, if you didn't do what I said earlier in terms of adjusting the trying to get rid of your jet lag and adjusting your time frame, make sure to adjust your watch when you get here and get yourself mentally prepared for the time zone that you're walking into. Get yourself mentally prepared for the heat. You know, if you're arriving here mid-afternoon like I always did, it is hot. If you've never been here before, it is a hot country, and you are going to find that you may perspire more than what you're used to. Perhaps bring just a small dry flannel, tuck it in your bag and give yourself a dab down if you're feeling that you're a little bit hot. So again, you know, when you get here, adjust your watch, make sure you don't forget, adjust your phone, because all these kind of things are going to go a bit pear-shaped. Some phones will automatically do it, but if it doesn't, make sure you do it, and just get yourself a towel or something just to adjust to the heat, because it is hot here. Lastly, and it's not a tip, it's just an option, you might need a taxi. And strangely enough, we have a Buzzin taxi, which I'll show you now, which you may or may not want to book. And if you do, get in touch with us, drop the email 247pattaya@gmail.com, and we'll add you to our taxi list. And then obviously nearer the time, you can get in touch with us, and you know, we'll bring you down. If you don't want to use the Buzzin taxi, that's fine, no dramas. But also, you know, pre-book your taxi. There's nothing worse than getting to the airport, getting through customs, doing all your luggage and all the rest of it, and then standing outside and thinking, right, how the hell do I get to Pattaya? Some people like to go downstairs and use the rank taxi, which you can do. It's a little bit more expensive, and it's a bit hit and miss as to how much it's going to cost you, and how you know, there's plenty of taxis down there, you're not going to wait, but it is, and possibly quite more expensive than what you would be used to paying. So just, you know, be prepared for the taxi journey, and make sure that if you haven't got it pre-booked, try to pre-book it. Some of you use the bus and stuff like that. To be honest with you, listen, I'm not casting any judgments, each to their own, but for me, it'd be sitting on an aeroplane for like 11.5 hours on a direct flight to then find that I'm sitting on a bus for another 2 hours. It's not my cup of tea, it really isn't. But it might be yours, and I'm not criticizing you, it really is up to you. So there you go, guys. There's a few tips for you for those that you've never been here, or those you've not done long haul flights. There are plenty of us out there that have, you know, never done long haul flights, that suddenly we've got to go and do one. These may or may not help you. Guys, if you can share any tips that you have regarding flights, what's made your flight more comfortable. You know, one I haven't touched, and I didn't want to touch this because it's personal opinion, but maybe a direct flight versus a stopover. I can't do stopovers. For me to then get off the airplane, to get back on the airplane, to then get off the airplane, I can't do that. It just absolutely is a no-go for me. I like to know that when I sit down and I clunk that seatbelt in, I know the next time I undo it, unless it's to go to the toilet, will be to get off the airplane. But some of you guys might differ. Some of you guys financially might decide it's more economical to go and do a stopover. I don't know, you know, it's horses for courses. But if you do have any tips, any advice, anything you'd like to share, please drop them down below. Any links that you use for any flights that you book, and any particular areas you think, you know what, this is a brilliant site, you should use this. Again, please drop those links below. Let's share all of our knowledge, all of our experience, and hopefully we can make people's journeys over here a little bit smoother, particularly if they haven't done it before. All right, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Check out our members area. More and more members now are on board, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for your support. And I'm busy going out there talking to lots of businesses, lots of places to get you either free Buzzin shots or discounts off your meals or discounts off services, etc., etc. And guys, check out our Discord group. We've got over 4,000 people on there now that are interacting, talking to each other, sharing the things that we've done today, like tips and advice. There's loads of rooms in there. There is a link to Discord down in the description. Have a look, come over, check it out. If it's not for you, no dramas. But if you don't come and have a look, how are you going to know? All right, that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you over here soon. And in the meantime, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.